I'm worried about Yazmin because she's more of a top game type wrestler. You know, she has some submissions, but she also has a lot of decision wins too. And I don't think that's enough for Istela. You got to get Istela out of there. I don't know if her ground game is good enough. It's good enough to take her down, but I don't know if it's good enough to like submit her.
If you sleep on Istela, then you're going to sleep. So. Okay, the first fight, Yazmin Jauregui versus Istela Nunes. Kind of interesting because on the San Diego fight night, I want to say she was the third fight from the main event. She put on one of the better fights of the night.
Yeah, because of her style, she's not boring. She's very exciting. She's flashy. She's really well-rounded. She really can do it all. Like takedowns, wrestling. Man, like she's gonna be in top 10 real soon. Other than top 3, you know, is room for people to move up.
The only thing I did see in that first round of that Lucindo fight, Lucindo was kind of getting in her a little bit. Lucindo had moments. Cardio just couldn't keep up. But one thing impressive about Yazmin is, man, that cardio. She can make adjustments because she lost that first round. She can't make him win the next 2 rounds convincingly.
You know what's weird? She's only 23, man, but she looks experienced. It's almost like she's a veteran.
Yeah.
And she looks better than like a lot of women who've been in the UFC for like 8-9 years.
Man, when you watch her fight against Lucindo, on the other side, this time we get somebody searching for their first win. She got choked out in her first fight. So she got choked out in round 3 of her first fight. And then the second fight, she lost by majority decision. You know why it is? Her cardio.
It's cardio, but you want to tell you what else it is? She got a Cody Durden complex.
What you mean?
Those fights, she was winning. I went and looked at both of those fights, but especially the fight where she got submitted in 3rd round, she was winning. And in 3rd round, she got taken down and got finished. So I don't know if it's mental or if it's like a skill deficiency she has. Because, you know, she's a 2-time Muay Thai champion.
Yeah. But if you notice when she fight, because she want to keep the fight on her feet, she throws so many power moves. Because it is her cardio. It is most definitely the cardio.
Yeah.
But then you look at it and you say, well, the cardio actually wouldn't be so bad. You don't see no jab. Only thing you see is power moves, Superman punch, Superman elbow,
bunch of kicks,
bunch of heavy kicks, knockout, flashy moves. I'm gonna pick Yazmin, man, just for the simple fact that she can pace herself. And she can control the fight because Istela is going to be better on the feet.
But Yazmin is going to have to get the fight to the ground too. Because you got to understand, it was the stylistic matchup she fought against. It's not like she just went there. You know how some guys, they fight opponents who just bad matchups for them? For example, Dan Henderson's a striker, right?
Yeah.
You saw he got knocked out by Vito Belfort?
Yeah.
Because Vito is just stylistically just a worse matchup for him. And I think Yazmin, even though she's well-rounded, she's still a striker, kind of.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is she going to be able to outstrike Istela? I don't think so. I think if she can mix up the takedowns and wrestling and just control her from the top, then I think it's an easy win. But if she tried to like stand up with her, she might get knocked out. Because Istela has brutal power in her right hand. Like she done put some people away.
I don't know if she'll knock her out. That first round, Yazmin is definitely going to lose. But like that's for certain. Yeah. But after that,
maybe.
I think Yazmin, because she showed in her last fight, she actually can get better as the fight goes on and press a tough pace. I wouldn't be surprised if Istela got finished. I was looking at this Angela Lee fight. It took Angela a long time to get that submission, man. She took her down and controlled her on the ground for a long time and went for multiple submissions before she was able to get this in. I don't think Yazmin's ground game is quite there yet because Istela, she can be finished, but again, it all comes back to that cardio. It seems like her takedown defense is good, striking is good, everything is good, but then when you start getting into the halfway point of the fight and her opponent is still there, that's when it's like...
It's that, but it's also the way they fought her too. They fought her kind of boring, and they really fought her real safe. I worry that Yazmin is going to go out there and make it a striking match.
To be excited.
Istela, even though she is plotting, she is, like, you know, Muay Thais, they don't really move around. They don't have the best, like, they're not the most mobile fighters, Muay Thai fighters. They kind of, like, walk forward. And Istela has the Muay Thai stance and his style, but at the same time, she has so much power, and I could see Yazmin winning a couple rounds and still getting caught.
Istela does have brutal power, man. Like if you really go and look at her highlights, that one little kick she does, like that Shogun kick, dude, she put people to sleep with that thing. I would say this, man. Yazmin, her striking is good, it's clean, it's crisp. She can mix it up well. But man, we can't pretend like Lucindo was not putting hands on her. And if Lucindo had a little bit more power, any of those punches could have maybe put the lights out.
But Lucindo don't have the power of Istela, but she has more athletic ability. And one issue I have with Istela too is she could be more of a counter puncher too. Because she sits back, because one of her knockouts she got before the UFC, she countered her with the right hand and knocked her out. And I don't think Yazmin's gonna be around.
No.
Yazmin not gonna fight this type of fight.
She gonna use her footwork. She gonna use the space. She gonna be in and out like she's supposed to. But she was even, again, against Lucindo, she was in and out. But then there were certain exchanges where she was just too comfortable being in there. She was not exiting fast enough. And she was too happy to be in there if somebody with a little bit more power. And the other thing is, Istela like for her opponent to stand in one place so she can set up the perfect knockout.
Oh, yeah.
That works for Yazmin, but
also you gotta understand, I didn't like the thing Yazmin was doing, even though she won the fight. But she would throw like 4 or 5 punches in a row, man. And it looked like if Istela if she can get the timing right and counter, because I was kind of worried, like, what if she got countered throwing all them punches? Because she has real good combinations. If she got to relax with that, man, because then you make one mistake, then...
It was a few times where they both start catching each other. Remember, they would both hit each other with a left hand at the same time. And it was just like, man, you lucky. And then another thing is Lucindo, she didn't gas, but she started to slow down a little bit. And it's because she threw a lot of big punches early on and didn't pace herself. But what's your ultimate pick?
My ultimate pick is, it depends on if Yazmin fight it safe or not. If she fight it safe, yeah, I can see her winning a decision. Yeah. But if she go out there and make it a striking match, I don't think it's going to end good for her, if I'm going to just be honest with you.
Because she would have to eventually, like you said, start using wrestling and jiu-jitsu, which all that's going to open up halfway through round 2.
And then last thing I'm going to say is I'm worried about Yazmin because she's more of a top game type wrestler. You know, she has some submissions, but she also has a lot of decision wins too. And I don't think that's enough for Istela. You got to get Istela out of there. I don't know if her ground game is good enough. It's good enough to take her down, but I don't know if it's good enough to like submit her.
At the end of the day, Istela is on a losing streak in the UFC.
Yeah, true.
And this is a tough matchup to be your third fight because obviously they're trying to boost up Yazmin, which means they might be getting her out of there.
Yeah.
So, or this might be a fight where Istela will be able to actually get a W. But I don't think they'll be risking Yazmin, so I'm gonna go with Yazmin. If she fights smart, she should win. But if you sleep on Istela, then you're going to sleep.